Yo, it's Happy. So I realised that the last couple times that I've started one of these yapping videos, I've kind of started with being direct to the point, which is good in a sense, but at the same time doesn't really feel real to me as a person. I mean, I'm just yapping, right? Kind of as it comes to my head, and I want to keep it that way, not go on some wild venture trying to make a menial yap cinema. That said, what I'm thinking of this time is nostalgia and looking back, which I guess you could say I'm doing with the realization about the manner I've opened previous yaps. With looking back and mentioning nostalgia, it's probably good to mention that I think at a core level, it's a good emotion with a bad side attached. Also, new mic, let me know how it sounds. The bad side I'm talking about, however, is usually attached to this feeling of almost hollowness, or wanting to go back to the time you're thinking of. To be fair, that also may just be me, but I doubt it. Positively speaking on nostalgia, the memory that's being presented to you is so good to your brain that you want to be there again, if you want to look at it more optimistically. It's like you want to just teleport back to that time period. There's nothing wrong with this. I mean, a lot of these nostalgic thoughts are usually to do with a first, like your first girlfriend, your first beer, your first football game. Whatever it is, it's usually your first, and are usually the most joyous memories too. Now I get that to some degree, the older that you get, the quicker time goes by, and I'm sure that there's some sort of science behind that. But that means the older that you get, the less time to create memories is available, and that stops the creation of new nostalgic memories. But really, I just think that the older you get, the less new experiences get created due to life priorities. I mean, if you went abroad at 25 for the very first time ever, when you're 27, 28, do you think it's not going to be a nostalgic memory? I feel like I would feel that as a nostalgic memory. In fact, I have to some degree first-hand experience with that. Even though I am still a young adult, and I'm sure my time still isn't flying by as fast as my parents, for instance, I only went abroad for the first time a couple years ago. It was my first plane, my first time getting a passport, and the things that happened while on holiday are so nostalgic to me. For example, the holiday was in Amsterdam, and an insanely nostalgic part is the late night sitting eating a slice of pizza that I bought for a singular euro and a can of Heineken while sat on a bench looking at the damn rack. And that event, for me, brings so much nostalgia, and it's something I did as an adult. Obviously I still get caught with that feeling of wanting to be right back in the exact moment, but I know realistically I can't. Not unless the Men in Black pens do actually exist. But that pizza and beer in Amsterdam was something that was a new experience, instead of being a repeated experience that I'd been taking part in since a child. And I think that's all that nostalgia is. I think it's just a new experience that's enjoyed, creating a positive nostalgic memory. Obviously, if you don't enjoy the experience, then you won't get that feeling of nostalgia. But I mean, there's going to be that sadness in even the good nostalgic memories, because by the very fact you're feeling nostalgic, you're going to want to go back to those times and or miss them. Although if it's a bad memory, then you won't. I mean, for a lot of us, we are probably overwhelmed with sadness when we do think of these nostalgic moments from our childhood. I mean, I know that half of the people that watch this are American, and with that, I also know your legal drinking age is 21. And I'm sure that there's going to be some surprise at the fact that some of my early childhood memories, some of my favourites in fact, are of me and my friends when we were 13, 14, 15 years old in a field, park or empty house that had me and all my other friends who were the same age drinking alcohol. Yes, at those ages we were drinking alcohol. We were out partying because that is what we do where I'm from. That's not a very common thing across the whole of the UK. I mean, a lot of my English family are very, very confused when they hear about the age I was. Although I'm pretty sure there's plenty other kids in the UK that aren't from where I am that also started drinking when they were young. Same goes for European countries, and I'm sure some people in America also. Regardless, these memories I created while drunk as a kid are some of my fondest, some of the best times I can remember. The amount of belly aches, actual pain that my face would feel from laughing so hard. Once again, it's just nostalgia. It's a great feeling, but even when I'm repeating those memories of greatness, I am still saddened by nostalgia, as it is just such a double-edged sword. As far as nostalgia goes, however, I think it's just something created when we get to experience something new. So I think it's pretty simple. Just go and create new memories. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? In 5 years' time, you'll have another memory that you're not fond of, but let's be real. All we will be doing is adding it to the already made list of things you didn't enjoy. You're going to have plenty of them anyway, but you're not going to have plenty of first experiences if you aren't willing to try new experiences. As I say pretty much every time, I'm not perfect. I'm no different to anybody that struggles with that same feeling. A new experience scares the life out of me, but it's only natural with anxiety. I mean, if I was somebody that didn't deal with that feeling, then I wouldn't be able to create this video and speak about this situation as I have. It would just kind of be like nostalgia propaganda, which I guess in a sense this is, because yes, I want you to be nostalgic when you can, but just don't get lost in your nostalgia. Don't get swallowed up by it and kept in it. Just let it happen, embrace it and let it pass, almost like you're meditating. And I know that that in itself is difficult sometimes. I'm not saying it's not, but try to let go of what is worrying you when you think of the memory, and try to smile because of what you're remembering. What you're nostalgic about is one of the happiest moments of your life, or at least that's what I feel a nostalgic memory usually is. Something that's one of the most loved memories to that individual. With that though, I'm all yapped out. I hope you enjoyed the world from my perspective. If you did enjoy the vid, a sub or like really helps with the algorithm. That said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and stay safe.